Attorneys now making their case. The first witness was called to try and set the tone of what happens to police officers in high-stress use of force scenarios. News Channel 5's Michelle Casada is live with what prosecutors uncovered during cross-examination. Michelle.
Jay, Nouman Raja's attorneys called a police psychologist to the stand to talk about distortion, perception distortion, and memory impairment that officers can go through in a police-involved shooting. But what they didn't count on is what the prosecutors brought up during cross-examination. Nouman Raja's defense attorneys called a police psychologist to talk about what happens to an officer's recollection in a situation of high stress and deadly force.
When they try to remember what occurred, or essentially trying to reconstruct a high arousal, deadly force situation that they may have misperceived in some ways, but yet they're trying to create a memory, an accurate memory as to what occurred. So a memory impairment is simply inaccurately remembering what actually occurred, and that usually comes up when there's other evidence that tends to contradict what the officer seems to remember.
But prosecutors cross-examined to find out if Philip Trumpeter, who is getting paid $6,000 to testify, ever evaluated the former Palm Beach Gardens police officer.
In this case, I was not asked to interview the defendant, so I didn't.
And so since you did not evaluate him, you have no opinion to offer this jury as to what type of experience he was having and what was going on in his mind at the time that he pulled the trigger in this case. Is that correct?
Yes.
The defense team also spent a lot of time on the roadside assistance call that Corey Johns made to get a tow truck. They did that with their second witness, trying to prove that you could hear Raja's voice at the beginning of the call, even though it appears to be inaudible, that his voice was picked up. Now, the defense team will continue to call on witnesses tomorrow, and there could be closing arguments as early as Wednesday morning. Reporting live from the Palm Beach County Courthouse, Michelle Casada, WPTV News Channel 5.